really surprised with our performances. I think that coming off the train trip, it's just a lot of hard work. It is a grind when we are just putting in a lot of yardage, a lot of doubles while we're in Florida. So it's hard. And then we got back on Thursday, and then trying to get up and swim fast on Saturday is tough. And those meets are generally a little hit or miss, but we had a lot more hits than we had misses this year, or yeah, with this meet this year. So Geneseo always comes ready to play. As their coach has told me, this meet is one they kind of circle on their calendar every year because it's one of their better dual meets, and we knew it was going to be very competitive. I think on the men's side, I think our men are ranked 15th in the country, theirs are ranked 18th, I think, and so we knew it was going to be tight. And our guys showed up, and they came ready to play. On the women's side, I think that it was a little bit more. I don't want to say dominant, because I don't think it was necessarily dominant per se, but I think we kind of handled our business effectively. But we had some people that really put up some great swims and really good times. And diving, we had some people do some new things and get some good scores up there. So all in all, I really couldn't be happy with how we did. They're a really good group. They're good people. They do well in the classroom. They do well with their activities outside of swimming and outside of school. They're leaders in different areas. They're on to some. They're going on to some amazing things, and I have no doubt that they're going to be incredibly successful in their life. And they've been through a lot with our program, right? You look at everything that's kind of happened over the last 4 years during their time here, and it's a lot, and it's a lot to have to work with, and it's a lot to deal with, and they've done it very well. And I think that there's always ups and downs, and there's always people that maybe hit every single one of their goals, and there's some that maybe fell a little short here or there, but you know what, like I never doubted anyone's effort. I never doubted anyone's commitment to what we were doing. They've been incredibly good teammates. They've been incredibly good athletes to coach, and so it's always hard when you see really good people that leave the program. As a coach, I think one of the best things about coaching is you see people grow and mature during their 4 years in college, which I think, as we all know, there's a lot of growth that happens during those 4 years, and I can look back at these individuals and see a ton of growth, and that's always great to see. Through the good, through the bad, it's just a lot of fun, and it's for me as a coach, it's one of the things that I enjoy the most, and I'm always sad to see them go, but I'm also always going to be one of their biggest cheerleaders, right? And I'm always going to be excited to see what they do next, and what those amazing things are that they're going to accomplish in their life. And so it's kind of a bittersweet moment, right? Like it's one of those times where you're sad to see them go, but you're thankful for the time that you've had with them. And I always appreciate and thank them for all the hard work and dedication they put into the program, throughout their time here. And I always like to tell them too, at some point during their last meet at home, take a second, right, and just kind of like look around, soak it in, and kind of have that moment for themselves, and I think it's important to have that as someone who is about to step on into being a real adult.
My name's Erica. I'm a fourth-year nursing major, and I'm on the swim and dive team. For both of my internships, for the first one, I worked at Duke University Hospitals on their cardiothoracic step down. And then last year, I got to work on another cardiothoracic ICU this time in Northwestern in Chicago. So throughout the summer, I'd spend like working full time with another nurse, being able to be in that environment and like be a part of that team and do the whole nursing thing that we talk about in class all the time. And that was really informative. So that really helped me figure out what I want to do after graduation. I'm particularly interested in cardiothoracic intensive care as opposed to like all the other variations of care out there. So haven't decided where I want to work yet, but I know what type of specialty, so that definitely helps. Cardiothoracic intensive care is like anything about the heart, so any of your valve repairs, and then where you use like ECMO, heart-lung machines, and then it's everything about the lungs as well. So lung transplants, anything like that would also be in that unit as well. I really like the personal aspect of nursing, being able to spend time with the people that I was helping and being able to see them improve their life beyond the fact that they were getting to leave the hospital, but know that say like next weekend they're going to their daughter's dance recital or something like that. So I've definitely really enjoyed that. And obviously, like when I was 18, I decided that, and I wasn't really sure if that was true or not, but coming here with all my education, I definitely know that's very true, and I still stick to those reasons as to why I want to be a nurse. My 4 years were definitely a little different. I came in as a freshman in 2019. Then we got hit with COVID. So then we went home for a while, was online for a lot of that. We got a few seasons taken away from us, a few missed training trips. But now this year really has felt like a full circle moment. I'm one of the women's co-captains, so I really saw my own growth through that. So this past few weeks in January, we had our training trip in Florida, and that was actually the second training trip all the seniors had ever been on because of COVID and everything. And when we went, no one else had ever been on a training trip, period. So we really got to be the leaders, and it was just a really good full circle moment to see like this is what it should have been, I guess. So kind of sad, but exciting.
My name is Patrick Cavanaugh. I'm a fourth year on the men's swimming and diving team. I'm a statistics and economics major, and I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. In high school, I took AP statistics, so I knew that was something I was always interested in. And then the first 2 years of college, I kind of didn't know where I was going with that. I kind of bounced around to different majors, just seeing what I liked. And then at the end of sophomore year, I just fell on statistics and then decided to pick up economics because those mesh really well together. That was something that I was interested in. Economics, just the economy in general, has always been interesting to me. I know, like growing up, I got into stocks when I was pretty young. So that is what kind of bumped me into economics. And then kind of led me to this past summer, I interned with KeyBank as a quantitative modeling and analytics intern. So kind of into the banking space. And when I was there, I worked on the fraud modeling and analytics team. So looking at different models to pick up fraud and different ways we can continue to fight fraud in the banking world. So then that kind of led into my job coming up. I'll be staying with KeyBank, working as a rotational analyst in that same quantitative modeling and analytics program. A lot of it was making sure the models were working well, tuning the models, kind of onboarding new models, and just some exploratory analysis into like where we're seeing fraud and where it's going, and that sort of thing. The senior class has definitely been through a lot over the past 4 years, especially with COVID, and I think that brought us a lot closer. It was definitely hard to train during some of that COVID time, so it was holding each other accountable and that sort of thing. And then this year, especially working with the fellow captains has been really rewarding, and I've definitely gotten closer with them just through that. And we were already very close, but just that has been a rewarding experience. And I just think that the senior class is special for sticking with swimming for 4 years. It's definitely a tough thing to do.